All right, Mr. McBride, unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Mr. McBride,
Hello? Can you hear me?
stop playing games. Mr. McBride, I'm telling you right now.
Yes? Can you hear me now?
All right, this is what's going to end up happening, Mr. McBride. You continue to come on this Zoom. You're disrespectful. What's going to end up happening is you're going to find yourself sent back to your cell. And the next time your case will be called will be 90 days from today. So I'm telling you this for the last and only time. If you are disruptive again, throwing signs, acting as though this is a dating show and this isn't serious, you will be sent back to your cell and we will see you in approximately 90 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know who you are sending I love you signs to.
I was just doing this.
Well, that's silly and that's childish. How old are you?
22.
Well, why don't you stop acting like you're a toddler? And I apologize to all the toddlers for putting them in that same category, but why don't you stop doing that? You're here on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes.
So maybe you don't think your case is serious. I don't know. I would think that looking at potentially going to prison for 20 years would be very serious. But however, if you continue to behave the way you behave, what's going to end up happening is we will see you in 60 days. There is something called COVID going around. And this Zoom screen that you're on right now, that's a privilege. It's not a right. So you had better not touch any of that equipment. Don't do anything with that equipment and don't send out any more signals to anyone. And all of the inmates, you are not to touch and play with that equipment.
Is my lawyer here? Or no?
Is there anyone else who's ready? Mr. Zapata on Joshua Zila.
Oh, man, I'm not ready. I need to, the clerk could not help me as far as finding time in other counties. I'd have to do that from the other counties. So that's going to take me some time.
No, it's just a matter of which county he's in and someone picking up the phone. Let me send you, if you go back to breakout room number 1, Ms. Ferguson, could you go to number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And who is the attorney for DeAndre Job?
Washington, Arthur.
All right, have you called him?
Oh, yes, I called him.
All right, we'll be with you shortly. And who is the person by the name of Juan Mello?
That's Ed Piker's client.
All right, I'm just waiting for him. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. Just one moment. All right, Karen Corby, you're back?
Yes, may I confer with Hunter real quick, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll
Good.
send you number 3. And Mr. Parker, I don't see your client anywhere.
He is, he's the one that had the Dallas Cowboy baseball hat on. He said he's in there. I told him to take the hat off.
Well, it's his audio. It still shows it's connecting to audio.
But not video,
No, I see him on the video.
but no audio.
No. This is your client, and so it still shows him connecting to audio. So as soon as we get him connected to audio, we can find out what's going on.
I'll call him again.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Norma? Where's Alfonso Cabanas? Does anyone have the information on Attorney Alfonso Cabanas? Just one moment.
Stay where you are. I'm gonna ask the judge if she can. Okay. All right, well, let's see if she can hear you now.
All right, just one moment, Mr. Mello. Is there a deputy? Excuse me, Lupe or Robert?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, could you have a deputy? Let him know we're done with McBride, L5. He'll be back in 90 days.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Thank you. All right, and are you Mr. Mello? Juan Mello? Ed, it's one of those days, but you know what, Ed, at least it's not a Monday. If it were a Monday, you would be farther away from the weekend than you are today.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So now we can hear him but can't see him. Is that it?
Oh, we can see him, but I don't think he can hear me. Mr. Mello, are you able to hear me? If you are, give me a thumbs up.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can put something in the chat.
There he is.
And he's still
Oh.
connected to audio.
All right, let me call him again.
All right, Karen Corby?
It's just, I think we have an agreement. I need the cert of appeal and the video waiver, and I need to go back in with Mr. Max Sanchez, please.
Okay. All right, if you will, do you have Ms. Ferguson's email address?
Yes,
All right, if you could send that to her, and I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
thank you.
Judge,
Yes.
can I get a breakout room with Rebecca Reyes and Alexis Quiros?
Rebecca Reyes. And
Our
Alexa.
CLO and the probation officer.
Ah, okay. I was like,
forgot my name.
Quiros? I'm like,
CSO.
what?
CSO Quiros and CLO Reyes.
All right, I'm sending them, I've sent her to number 4, Ms. Quiros. If you'll go to breakout room number 4, please.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Brandon Lopez. Who are you here for?
Yes, Judge, I'm back on Ms. Bettis, and we have a plea that we did the paperwork for right before we left.
All right, are you ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, is there a prosecutor available to do the plea on Christina Perez?
Marcus.
Okay. Brandon, I'm gonna jinx this by saying it's working. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 10701, State of Texas versus Christina Ann Perez. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Brandon Lopez.
All right, and are you Miss Perez? Can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Perez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Perez, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're waiving the enhancement paragraph, making
Any
it just a
objections?
bill.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Perez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand what you're charged with is theft under $2,500 enhanced as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in a state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you and your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
In my opinion, she does, Your Honor.
You believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Pettis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2020 CR 5272. Grand jury number 755031, 755058. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There, Your Honor.
Then Ms. Pettis, to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Judge. The state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No
Any
objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Pettis, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we ask that the court follow the plea bargain as agreed with the state.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 2020 CR 5272, grand jury number 755031 and 755058. I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So this is where we are in your life. How old are you?
37.
All right, you're 37. You have a lot of theft cases. I don't know why you're stealing. I don't know if it's a drug issue. If it's a drug issue, then there are plenty of places that are open for you, that are free for you. If that's not the case, if it's just you're a thief and that's your occupation, you had better change your occupation because you're not good at it. You're going to wake up, if you continue on the path that you're on, you're going to wake up and find yourself having spent a majority of your life in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
And when young women come in and they say, oh, how are things run here? They're going to say, well, you need to ask Grandma Perez. They're going to say, who is Grandma Perez? It's going to be you. And they're going to say, why you call her Grandma Perez? Oh, because she's the oldest person here and she's been here the longest. So whether you want your life to end up like that is completely up to you and the choices you make. But if you continue on the path that you're on, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up spending the majority of your life in prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Norma, Miss Perez can go back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And Brenda Carbajal.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your problem?
I don't even know why I have court.
You have court because there's a compliance hearing schedule because you're not doing what you're supposed to do on probation, which I'm not finding shocking because before you were on probation, you had so many violations of pretrial conditions. So this is what I'm telling you, and this is going to be the last time that I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell it to you again because you're old enough to know better. If you do not follow through and get up out of that bed.
If I've seen a dolphin, that's probable cause.
Baby, can you lower that, please? A little bit.
Well,
Yes.
if you've seen a dolphin, that's probable cause. Who knew? So here's the thing. I am not going to tolerate you not doing what you're supposed to do while you're on probation. I don't know what your problem is because you're not communicating with anyone. All I know is that you've had so many violations before you were placed on probation. Now I'm getting the same reports. So first things first, you're going to get drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
I've been clean.
All right, you're getting drug tested today. So
Okay.
I'm sending her to get drug tested today. And Rebecca, if there are any more violations from her, just send me the motion to revoke. And if it's in proper format, what's going to end up happening is that motion is going to end up getting signed. There's a reason why you're on probation. And probation
Yes,
is
ma'am.
just not a piece of paper for you to say, oh, I'm on probation. I don't have anything to do. You're grown, you're an adult, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next time I see you, if it's not for, thank you so much, I successfully completed it, what it's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If it's in the proper
Ma'am.
format, I'm going to sign it. And when I sign
May I
it,
ask a
what it's
question?
going to, no, you may not. I'm going to sign it. And when I sign it, you know what's going to end up happening? A warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. You're going to be picked up, whether it be at your house, at work, if you have a job, or wherever you may be. You're going to be taken to the Bexar County Jail. Someone may decide to make your bond, they may not make your bond. And then we will have a hearing to address whatever allegations are in that motion. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So Rebecca, I want a drug test from her today. I'm sending her to the breakout room. And if there are any more violations, file a motion to revoke.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sending you to breakout room number 3.
Judge,
Yes.
he said Piker on One Mellow. He's having technical difficulties, so I instructed him to keep trying and also to drive down to the courthouse to go to your courtroom.
All right. Thank you so much.
So that's where I'm at. It probably will take a half hour or more, but I will stay connected as best I can until he gets there.
I appreciate it. And Mr. Piker, I appreciate the fact that you're no longer on the landline. Desmond, Brennan, and I learned how to work the landline on Zoom. You no longer own it.
Well, they kind of blackmailed me into it because on the misdemeanor wheel, they said if people didn't get off of the landline and onto the video, you wouldn't be able to represent your clients anymore. So
What?
that's what they said. So I got blackmailed into it. Good. Who said that?
I said that.
Oh, why?
Right, there we
Because
go.
you and the other short list of calling in from the landline folks caused us a lot of extra work and frustration doing your landline thing. So we're happy to have you here on the Zoom with a video camera.
I see.
And
So
that's
it was-
because we're happy to see your smiling face.
That and then because it was all about Tom.
Yeah. Alfonso Cabanas.
Hours of my life, Ed. Hours.
I know.
Hi,
All right,
Judge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Alfonso?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Judge, I wanted to let the court know that I was conferring with Tom via chat, and he let me know that my client was acting a fool. So he got sent back to his dorm room.
Yes. And let's not say dorm room, because then that puts him in the same realm as college children, and college children behave better. So what are we going to do with your client?
Well, Judge, if I can get a breakout room with Tom, I don't know if we could even resolve anything today since he's back in his in the jail.
Quarters.
In his quarters.
Okay. All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay.
All right. Fernando Trevino.
I'm right here, Your Honor.
Yes.
Is my client there?
Who's your client?
Rita Nina Gomez.
No, Miss Rita Nina Gomez is not here.
Okay.
All right, we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 6154. Oh, wait a minute. I think she may. Deputy Laura, was Rita Nina Gomez in the courtroom?
She was, Your Honor, and she left and she never came back.
Okay, all right. Court is calling 2021 CR 6154, State of Texas versus Rita Nina Gomez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Judge, was she there?
Yes, she left. She never came back.
Okay. Fernando Trevino for the defense.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
Nope.
All right, off the record, Mr. Joe, you need to wake up.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you here in Bexar County?
No, ma'am. I'm here in Houston,
All right, do you want to drive through Houston traffic to get to Bexar County?
San Antonio.
Yes, that's where Bexar County is. Would you like to drive from Houston to San Antonio? Through Houston traffic,
Yes.
through Austin?
I can.
Oh, is that something you want to do? Because we can make that happen.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Then you need to stay awake. Do you understand? You are in a
Oh, yes,
courtroom. Now, if I were you, I would be on the phone, say, Your Honor, may I excuse myself for a moment? I would be on the phone calling my attorney.
Okay. I had called him. He said that he's doing a trial, so I don't know if he's coming or not. But I can try to call. If he don't answer, what do I do?
Well, just work on that, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we are back on the record. It's still a Tuesday, Brian. All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. The defendant, Ms. Rita Nina Gomez, did not appear on the Zoom at 9 a.m. It's the court's understanding that she did appear in the courtroom at 9 a.m., but left and has not returned. Defense, have you had any contact with Rita Nina Gomez?
I have not, Your Honor.
Deputy Laura, did Rita Nina Gomez appear in court this morning?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
And has she come back to the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, she left about 11:15 this morning.
All right, and was she given permission to be excused for today?
Just for the restroom and for her to return, and she never came back.
All right, state.
State asked the court to forfeit her bond and issue a warrant.
That'll be granted if you're able to get in touch with your client and she appears by Zoom or in court, the court will reconsider.
Your Honor, do we have a good number for Ms. Gomez?
I can send you to the breakout room and the clerks can see if it's listed on bond paperwork.
Wonderful.
I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you. At least it's not 13.
13 is the best breakout room. All right, Andrew Frolick.
Judge, I am still in the carpool lane, as you can tell.
I don't think you're supposed to be on the Zoom during the carpool lane. Any parent?
I'm not moving.
School zone, no less.
And I haven't hit any small children yet. So, but I'm not moving. So
Is that a minivan? Is that a minivan?
Oh yeah, it's a pimping minivan too. Check this out. It's got the TV in the back and everything. It's nice. If I could, Judge, I know that Ms. Vidal has arrived. If I could have her check in and then I could get back with the court in about 20 minutes.
Sure. Miss, did you want to speak with Ms. Vidal now or no? Did you want to speak with Ms. Vidal now, or did you want to come back in 20 minutes? Like, what is that? What is the teeth smell?
I don't think he can hear you.
I can't hear a word you're saying, Judge. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right. Do you want to be in a breakout room with your client, or do you want to Zoom back in 20 minutes?
If I could do back in 20 minutes, I'd appreciate it. I just wanted to check in and let the court know my status.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, Fernando Trevino, do you have anything else with us?
I do not. Just want to know if I can be excused.
Yes, you're excused. Have a great rest of your day.
And I'll get I guess, email in the next setting.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. And to the prosecutors, is there someone who can get in touch with Clint Malloy? Charles Blanc is zooming in and wants to speak with him about a case that he wants to have a hearing on. And Norma Ferguson, can you find out if Mr. DeAndre Job, if his attorney's in trial somewhere? Who is this B340U? What is your name, the person in the check shirt?
Paul Hernandez.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Paul Hernandez. Did you get that, Judge? I'm sorry.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay.
And the person who's on Beatles Galaxy, who appears to be, I don't know, going in the bunker or something. Could you unmute, please?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What is your name?
Martin Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to need you to find a place and remain stationary, okay?
Okay, it's because my phone, I had to charge it.
Okay, it looks like, are you in a basement?
No, I'm in the room, but the lights, don't turn on the light.
Okay, no problem. I was just wanted to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. And Paul Hernandez, who is your attorney, Mr. Hernandez?
James Myritt or something like that. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yes. All right, Mr. Joe, we were able to get in touch with your attorney. So your next court date is going to be September 21st. All right, and you are excused. Rudy Lerma, who are you here for? And we have silence. Karen Corby, you're back?
I'm back, Judge. I need to speak to Hunter again. Sorry.
No problem.
Thank you.
I'll send you to number 3.
Thank you.
All right, and Charles Bont, my understanding you all are here on Mr. Foster.
Yes, Judge. I just realized that I sent that motion to Clint for some reason. I sent it to Norma. I copied Clint because I still picture Clint for some reason as the second chair with Tom. So I should have sent it to Marcus or Meredith. I don't know who wants to talk to me.
Okay, well, I mean, you're enjoying your time in New Orleans, I see.
I wish.
All right.
The background.
So let me do this.
I'm ready.
I'm going to send you, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Okay, thank you.
Juan Mello.
Yeah, Judge, that's mine, Ed Piker. He's called me and said he was getting close to the courthouse, so he's on his way to the courtroom.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Andre, apparently 5 was the wrong room. I don't know what the room I was in.
Oh, sorry. Let me move you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, who is this person standing? What is your full name? Juan Antonio de la Garza, you need to remain seated. Otherwise, you'll be sent back. Rudy Lerma. Mr. Lerma, how old are you? Mr. Lermer, can you hear me? Really, Lermer, can you give me a thumbs up, please, if you can hear me?
Judge, my client just called me and said he's walking in the courtroom now. This Ed Piker.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I think this may be your client here. Brenna, as you can tell, we have a problem with Mr. Lerman.
Yeah, I sent him a chat to connect his audio.
4/21. 24, so 25.
So that he can receive proper instructions. All right, Juan Mello is in the courtroom. Juan Mello, can you approach, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Right here in the blue dot. Facing forward.
Mr. Mello, we have an issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you not reporting to pretrial services?
For the what? I am.
No, I've received notice from them saying that you're not reporting. That they've tried calling the bondsman, that they can't get in touch with you.
It's not me. It's Thomas Blinko. They got the wrong person, man. I've been paying my bonds.
No. Here's the thing. Your bondsman is completely different from you reporting to pretrial services. Are you Juan A. Mello, M-E-L-L-O?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your SID number?
45 35 25.
Yes, you need to report to pretrial services. Ms. Ferguson? Just one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Nice, just have a seat. We're going to get your pretrial services officer in here so you can speak with your pretrial services officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Is he excused after that?
Just give us a moment, Mr. Riker.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lerma? We shall see what will happen. Hi, Andrew, you made it?
Still on mute. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready. If I could, we have Mr. De La Garza has been waiting patiently for me. He's got a plea we have ready to go. We finally completed the paperwork.
All right, I think he's been sworn in. I think so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send him to breakout room number 3. And let me find Mr. De La Garza.
He should be right there.
All right, thank you, Norma. Oh, no, I have to find them in the breakout rooms. When you see people on the screen, they're on the screen, but they're in a specific room.
Oh,
Interesting.
Mr. Lerma, are you able to hear us now? And that would be a no. Mr. De La Garza, you need to go to breakout room number 3, please. And Andrew Froelich, if you go to number 3, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ed Piker,
Yes.
with your client, what's going to end up happening is pretrial services officer is zooming in. He's going to make an appointment with your client on the Zoom, and your client is going to have to follow that appointment. If your client doesn't follow that appointment, I'm not going to have another hearing for him to do what he's supposed to do. So my understanding is they will be zooming in shortly. Mr. Lerma, are you able to hear me? Thank you. All right, Andrew, we are ready on your client. Who's the prosecutor on Juan Antonio De La Garza?
No, it's Marcus.
All right, Mr. De La Garza, can you unmute? All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7592, State of Texas versus Juan Antonio De La Garza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Andrew Fraley.
Are you Mr. De La Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections, state? Any objections?
No objection from the state.
Then let it go.
Mr. De La Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we received all of it. Yes, we discussed it. And
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Off the record briefly, Norma, I'm sorry, Brenna.
Yes, ma'am.
No, sorry, I meant Brenna. All right, Mr. Juan Mello. Come forward, please. To the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
If he could go to a breakout room with Courtney Nias. Courtney, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all to a breakout room. Mr. Mello is going to have to meet with you by tomorrow. If he doesn't, then send me another violation report. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with him and his attorney. I think he has some confusion over reporting to you as opposed to reporting to his bondsman. So I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 3 and to the courtroom. If you go to 3, and then Ed, you and your client can be excused from the breakout room.
Judge, before I leave, remember this morning you issued a judge's warrant.
That's already been recalled.
Okay, thank you.
We're efficient here, Ed.
Well, you never, always that little crack.
All right, thank you. So
Have a good day.
All right, you two, if you go to 3 in courtroom, if you'll go to number 3, please.
All right.
All right, we're back on the record. Mr. De La Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Delagarza, I'm showing you what's entitled
ma'am,
Court
okay.
Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with theft enhancement under $2,500? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Working for a company.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do
Yes, Your Honor.
you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Delagarza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than a plea bargain, other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the court is, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 149 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor. We asked the judge to be satisfied. Oh, I have to just, I would like to address the day of credit for that.
All right. State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
All right, next I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea?
Yes, Judge. The state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Delagarza, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what does it all mean? So what does it all, what's this?
All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, we ask you follow the, well, yes, we ask you follow the plea bargain. The days credit, he has 149 days. I have emailed that to Guadalupe and Marcus. He has most of those days in the Cameron County Jail. We ask that he be given credit for all those days during the penalty days.
Anything from the state?
Nothing, Judge. It's our intent, sorry, nothing. It's our intention that if he does have those Cameron County days, that we have no objection to him getting credit for it.
All right, and defense, have you reviewed and investigated the fact that he does have those days credit?
Yes, Your Honor. And would you need me to recite those days, or do you have those?
Yes, please.
Okay. It is going to be from November 2nd, 2019 to December 18th, 2019. It's 45 days. There is 12/18/20 to 12/19/20, 2 days. And then 5/15/21 through 8/12/2021. It's 7 days. And he has 13 days in Bexar County as of yesterday. And I'm also putting that in the chat for you judges to make sure that those dates are correct.
All right, and for the record, the court has just received from the clerk an email from defense counsel. And the total number of days from November 2nd, 2019 to December 18th, 2019, 47 days. From December 18th, 2020 to December 19th, 2020, 2 days. I guess they're counting time differently. And from May 15th, 21 to August 12th, 21, 87 days and 13 days in Bexar County. Is it the intent of all parties that this judgment is satisfied, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence Mr. De La Garza to 149 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Mr. De La Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. De La Garza, you have choices to make in your life. How old are you?
I am 37, man.
All right, so obviously.
It was a bad choice.
Nope. Some people make decisions. Maybe there's a drug issue. There are plenty of free places to help you with that. Or maybe some people just steal. But here's the thing, you're not good at it, right? Because you have all of these cases.
Yes, yes.
If you continue on this path, you're going to find a majority of your time is going to be in a facility locked down. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Norm, you can let them know that 14B can go back.
I get released today, right?
I believe in Bandera.
Either today or earlier in the morning.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I
You're
apologize.
welcome. Bye-bye. All right, Lisa Voigt, your client is here. And that would be, let me find him. What is your client's name, Ms. Voigt?
It is Martin Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Martin Rodriguez is on Zoom. I'm going to send Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Did you already receive an offer from the state, Ms. Voigt?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then Ms. Voigt, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3 so that the state can confer with you. And Mr. Froelich, do you have anyone else with us?
Yes, Ms. Vidal should have shown up. She is from this morning's docket. She's in the courtroom. We'd ask that her warrant be withdrawn.
All right, to the clerks, do you have, is she on, has she been indicted?
I don't believe so.
There's one that's indicted, one that's not.
Yeah.
All right, to the clerks, could you bring me the file on Ms. Vidal, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and does anyone have an update on Joshua Zuloff?
I believe he was talking to him about my new offer, and then they were also looking at some time credit issues in different counties.
Okay, Rodolfo, what is happening with Mr. Zuloff?
Yes, ma'am. Can I just talk to Mrs. Meredith? I believe we have a deal. It's the dates are different. I mean, as far as the credit.
All right, I'll send you to number 5. All right, Kelly, on Mr. Foster, what is happening with that?
Yes, Judge. Meredith's in agreement with our motion. We filed it last week. I sent the email to Norma. I don't know if you want me to just give you the case numbers or if it's easier for her to give it to
Oh,
you.
no, I have the motion. She's given them to me. Is it 174, 175, 177?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a 176?
It's not, the GPS was not on any other cases. So those are the only three that the GPS was a condition. So we just filed it in those three.
And what are you all in agreement to?
To the, what we wrote in the order, Judge, just tracking only.
Tracking.
Okay. All right, is there any no contact in any of these cases or no?
I don't believe so, Judge. I think they're just evadings and then a assault peace officer, which hopefully he has no more contact with that officer.
Okay. You never know.
I know.
All right, well, it is signed. It should be in the system shortly.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. To the clerks, do you have the file on Vidal, please? Oh, you know what? Just 1 second. All right, Mary Vidal, did you confer with the state on this, Mr. Froelich?
We did, Judge. We have conferred on this case. We have a potential for an agreement, but I do need to talk to my client a little bit more about it.
All right, do you want to speak to her now since she's in the courtroom?
That's fine.
All right, to the courtroom. If you could go to breakout room number 4, please. With Miss Vidal.
Ms. Vidal.
And then Greg DeMarie.
Yes, Judge, I am here. Good afternoon. I'm
Good
coming.
afternoon. Who is your client?
Rudy Lerma, and he is here, Judge. He's been here a couple minutes, and I apologize. We were on this morning and he wasn't. He notified me at 10:40 and I gave him the Zoom. He didn't know how to do Zoom, so that took a while. But
Well, we have a problem with your client, Mr. Lerma. And Mr. Lerma is going to have to appear in court tomorrow.
okay.
I know I didn't tell people that they had to be fully dressed when they appeared on Zoom. I know that's an assumption on my part that people would know they would have to have clothes on. But he did not. So when you get in touch with him, he's on the Zoom, he's shut down his video, but if you get in touch with him and let him know his case is being recalled for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
And that he needs to come to court dressed appropriately. And if he's dressed inappropriately for court, then his Zoom privileges may be permanently revoked.
Yes, ma'am. And for purposes of just kind of administrative, if he shows up to court wearing what should be properly fitted and approval clothes, will the case then, do I need to show up just to make sure he does that on Zoom or?
Oh, yes, you need to be on Zoom.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
You can appear on Zoom, but your client needs to appear in person.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Was it just the shirt, or do we even know how far the extent was? Was it just?
I don't think I wanted to view anymore.
Okay.
So we just I didn't go past the shirt.
I just need to know what kind of training I need to put into this, you know.
Oh, well, if anybody comes on a court Zoom and they don't even have a shirt on, I think there needs to be full training from top to bottom.
We will do it, Judge. I got a student code of conduct, so we'll just review it.
I appreciate that. Have a great day, Dave. Thanks for
You too.
coming in, and we'll
Thank you,
see
ma'am.
him tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Fernando Trevino.
Judge, I've been retained on a case and my client has what do you call it? Ignition interlock requirement on an intoxication assault. But I think the vehicle is no longer working. And he.
Okay, one thing, is that a case on the docket today?
Nope.
Has a motion been filed?
I haven't filed my notice to retain counsel.
Oh, well, I can't do it. I mean, I can't do anything with that.
Okay.
So
So
once the notice of retained counsel is filed, once the motion is filed, then the court will entertain, you can zoom in, a prosecutor will speak with you.
alrighty, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry to bother you. Bye.
Oh, no, it's not a bother. We're here from 9 to 5.
All right.
Yesterday from 9 to 5:30, I've apologized profusely to everyone because of that.
9 to 5:30. Wow.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
Judge. Bye.
You too. All right, Rodolfo Zepeda.
Yes, ma'am, we've agreed on the offer. I just need to speak to Norma once again.
All right, I'll send you, let me find you. I'm going to send you to number 1. And Norma, if you could go to breakout room number 1 with Mr. Zepeda, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Karen Corby.
We're, Your Honor, with an open plea on an MTR.
All right, do you all have you signed all the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have any of the paperwork. Clerks, do you all have the paperwork on Sanchez?
It just came in, Judge. I'm gonna print it out.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Martin Rodriguez, do me a favor.
Okay,
Stop touching anything. Stop moving anything. Take your hands down.
okay.
Be still.
Actually, yeah.
No, be still.
Right.
Thank you. Because we can hear everything that's happening on your side. So now
Okay.
there's some peace and quiet. All right, Brent, are you ready? Who's the prosecutor on Max Sanchez?
Hunter.
Okay. Brenda, I think it's working right now. I don't want to jinx it. I just did. All right, the court is calling 2015 CR 5706, State of Texas versus Max Vasquez Sanchez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Karen Corby, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Sanchez, Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and state's motion to supplement motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Max Vasquez Sanchez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2015 CR 5706 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on June 12, 2017 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State.
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Max Vasquez Sanchez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2019, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2020, January, February, March, April, May 2021, in violation of condition number 5.
Right, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There's not, Judge.
State, what are you requesting?
State is requesting revocation in the sentence of 2 years.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking that you consider continuing, actually extending Mr. Sanchez on probation, allowing him to be released and attend outpatient treatment and hold safety in abeyance. I think that is the probation's recommendation, is safety. And my client, I was going to ask him to testify, Your Honor. He wants to testify.
Mr. Sanchez, if you could raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Max Sanchez.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sanchez, how old are you?
I am 40 years old.
And before you were put on deferred adjudication back in 2017 on this case, did you have any prior criminal history?
No, ma'am.
Well, isn't it true you had a possession of drug paraphernalia back in 2006? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, and that's something you did deferred adjudication on and then successfully completed it?
Yes.
So you have no prior convictions, felonies, or misdemeanors?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You understand why you're here today?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
I made a mistake in not reporting and not completing my probation.
Okay. When did you start this probation? What year?
I believe it was 2018.
How about 2017?
I'm sorry, 2017.
And did you try for a while to comply with the terms and conditions of that probation?
I sure did.
Were you having difficulty in your time in your life at that time?
I had just lost my father not too long ago, and not realizing I had some family issues.
Do you have any other issues?
No, ma'am.
Did you have any issues with drugs?
Back then, yes.
And what was that?
It was the heroin.
So you had heroin issues back then?
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, did you stop using heroin?
I sure did.
And when was that? What year?
It's been 2020.
You stopped using in 2020?
Well, it's 2019, really, if I include the extra months.
Okay. At some point, did you realize that you had violated the terms of your probation
Yes, I sure did.
and that there was a warrant out for your arrest?
Yes.
And did you turn yourself in?
No, I did not.
And why was that?
I was scared.
Okay, because you just pled true to not reporting for well over 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you take responsibility for
I sure do. Completely 100%.
extreme violation of your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been working since you stopped using heroin?
I sure have.
Where have you been working?
Past couple months, I've been working at the San Fernando Cemetery.
Is that a steady job?
Yes, sure was. 8 to 5, Monday to Friday.
And what do you do there?
I cut grass and did maintenance.
Is that job still waiting for you?
Oh, it sure is.
And do you have a place to live?
Yes, ma'am, I sure do.
And where were you working before the job at the grade?
I was doing temp service at Labor on Demand.
Okay. What are you asking the court to consider? Because do you understand that you're looking at 20 years in prison?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I sure am.
Okay. What are you asking the court to do and why?
If you could just possibly give me a second chance, if Ms. Boyd, a first chance with you. The only reason I'm saying is because this is myself, my family. I have not talked to my mother or any of my siblings for the past 2 years lately. And the past year and a half, when I have been sober, it's been one of the greatest times of my life.
What are you asking her to do today?
If you could just give me a second chance of showing the court and the probation that I am who I am and I am ready to change my life. This time that me withdrawing was a spiritually different chance, and I hate to say it, but separating myself from my family has bettered that life of mine.
Being away from your family has bettered your life? Is that what you're saying?
I hate to say it like that, but yes.
Are you asking the judge to release you and allow you to do outpatient treatment?
If possible, please.
And why should the judge trust you now after you've been gone for over 2 years?
I am 4 years old. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of this nonsense. And like I said, me spiritually, I'm a whole different level and a whole different place.
Do you have anything else you want to tell the judge?
Just if you can, please give me a second chance. And I'm sorry that I made my mistake, but I'm trying to fix it now and pay the piper.
And how many days do you think you spent in Beard County Jail since this all started?
Too much of my time.
147 days sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Dave?
Few questions, Judge. Mr. Sanchez, when you first stopped reporting, why was it that you stopped reporting?
I'm sorry?
When you stopped reporting in 2019, why did you stop reporting?
Because I knew I was coming out dirty.
For what?
For heroin.
And when exactly did you stop using heroin?
It's been almost a year and a half now.
And you did that all by yourself?
Sure did.
Have you attended any kind of treatment on your own outside of the court?
I've been to a couple of AA programs, NA programs.
Why didn't you contact the court in that 2-year interim?
Well, at first I was terrified. I mean, I was scared of, going back to jail, and then all the other COVID stuff started happening, and I didn't know what to do really.
And it looks like you were in the intensive outpatient program back in 19, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you left that program because you were
I came out dirty. No, I came out dirty in UA and they kicked me out.
And you've already done the supportive outpatient program, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So why do you believe you would be able to complete the intensive outpatient program now?
Because like I said, I'm at a whole different level of my life, spiritually and physically. And I separate myself from my family. And like I said, once I did separate myself, I realized part of my problem was them.
And you'd be willing to do inpatient treatment if you fall off the wagon?
Actually, I'd be willing to do any kind of TDC time or prison time because I know myself, I'm not gonna let that happen.
All right, pass the witness.
And your last answer was a little confusing, Mr. Sanchez. Are you saying that if the judge gives you an opportunity to be released and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, you'd be subjected to up to 20 years in prison and or inpatient. Is that what you meant by that? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, yes, ma'am, sure is. Because I know I'm not gonna have that I'm not gonna give you all that opportunity.
Okay, for your, sorry.
Any other questions, State?
None from the state, Judge.
No, Your Honor, just argument.
Yes, court will hear argument, State.
Judge, the state does not have an objection to him doing inpatient treatment. The court can see that he's already done supportive outpatient and completed it, but was unable to complete intensive outpatient and then disappeared for 2 years. And then wants us to believe that he on his own, after struggling with drugs since 2013, was able to stop using heroin. I hope that is true. I wish it true. I have doubts. I believe he does need a more structured environment. So if this court feels like it needs to give him another chance, I would ask to just jump into the inpatient treatment. But I would otherwise be asking for 2 years in TDC time because we've tried this and it's an old case.
Well, here's where the court is, and I'm not allowing you to do your closing argument yet, Ms. Corby, because I've heard evidence from both sides. One, sometimes it's not rehabilitation, sometimes it's punishment. He's been gone for 2 years. He needs to be punished for being gone for 2 years. So no matter what happens today, he's not getting out of jail today. He's saying that he doesn't use heroin anymore. So I will, 2 choices. I can give him 2 years prison, or he can be extended, and I will send him to ISF. And then when he gets back from ISF, he'll be in intensive outpatient treatment. Those are his 2 choices.
Which ISF, is that Judge's state ISF or the?
Local state ISF is not accepting. So my understanding, state ISF is where I could send him for inpatient treatment plus cognitive.
It's
But-
reversed.
Yes,
The ISF is the frozen one.
yes, state ISF is frozen, so he would be going to local ISF.
And I'm sorry, Judge, it's been a while. How long is that ISF program, can I ask?
I think it's 90 days.
And do you know what the wait is for the bed?
Probation, do you have any idea what the wait time is on ISF?
After medically and legally cleared, it's approximately 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. So he's probably looking at a month and 7 days.
Max, is that what you would like to do is get the help at ISF and then do outpatient and continue on probation? Or would you prefer to do 2 years TAC?
I'd do the first option.
Do the ISF?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge, I think that's a good choice.
All right.
Thank you.
So the court will deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions for 3 years. Extension. ISF local. Defendant to remain in custody until transferred. Followed with intensive outpatient treatment. Do you have any children?
No.
Upon release, he's to have employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or supervision of minors. And I'm going to want field visits to begin random 3 times per month. And UA hotline upon release. And is there anything else? Regular Zoom reporting or in person. So once you're released, if you can't report by Zoom, you need to report by in person. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, anything else you need in order to be successful on this probation?
I'm not too sure what you're asking.
No, is there something else you need so that you won't end up potentially going to prison
No, man,
for violations?
that won't be necessary because I won't have an opportunity for that.
All right, from here on out, Mr. Sanchez, everything you do, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? You understand?
Of course.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will go over conditions with you. And if I could have a prosecutor from family violence go to breakout room number 2 with James Meyer. And I need a criminal trial division prosecutor in number 3 with Lisa Voigt. And Ms. Corby, you can go to breakout room number 1 with your client, or either you can be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll go in breakout room real quick with him. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you. You're welcome. All right, anyone else? Miss Heroes, do you need to go to the breakout room as well?
No, Judge, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ed Bartholomew.
Yes, ma'am. Hi,
Yes.
Judge. My client's in the hospital.
All right, and that is.
Reuben Hernandez. He was set on the docket yesterday. He did not.
All right, so here's the thing on Mr. Reuben Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
Norma's saying we don't have any documentation. So he needs to provide documentation of his being in the hospital. I'm going to recall this one last time. And if there's not documentation given on that day, then.
Can I put you on hold for 1 second, Judge? Let me ask a question.
Sure. Alfonso Cabanas, what is happening with your client, Mr. McBride?
Judge, I confer with Tom on his case, and it looks like there was one offense that had not been filed that we were waiting on, and I think the state's going to dismiss that new offense.
All right, so what are we doing with this one?
Then on his case, Judge, we're just waiting for a bed to open up while he's in custody for him to get some treatment.
Okay, so this 2021 CR 4970 case, is that the case that's going to be dismissed?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, I don't show him as having, let me find him on the docket.
Sure.
Oh, okay, so this one will be dismissed and then we're waiting on treatment bed.
That's right.
Did the state give you some idea when they will be dismissing this?
I think today, Judge, when I was in the breakout room with Tom, he was filling out the dismissal form.
Okay, awesome. And then we're going to get an update. If you'll remain here, we'll get an update on that treatment bed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and to the clerks in the back, could I have 2020 CR 11104, please? Thank you.
And Your Honor,
Yes,
what's the projected reset date?
I'm going to give the reset date for 2 weeks. Ms. Ferguson, on Reuben Hernandez, can we get a two-week reset date for that, please?
Yes, ma'am. We can come back on the 13th, Judge.
All right, we're going to.
Judge, can I
Yes.
Well,
the 12th?
the only reason I mention that is because I got to be in Wilson County on the 13th for a pretrial and possible trial.
All right, Norma, can we call it on September 12th?
I think that's a Sunday, isn't it? Wait,
That is a Sunday. Well, how about Friday the 10th?
sure.
Or the 9th is even better, but the 10th's fine. The 10th's fine.
All right, we'll come back on the 10th
Thank you, Judge.
and provide documentation that he's in the hospital.
Thank you. Will we have the first LSU victory by then, Judge? I think that's the kickoff weekend, isn't it?
Yes, we will see what happens, as we will see how the Saints do this year.
And who do you open against, Judge?
I'm not even in that point of frame of mind right now, Ed.
I thought maybe Alabama would get it over with.
You know, if only we had good coaches. If only.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Can I approach on Ms. Vidal? Do you have that file? Just as long as I'm in line, that's fine.
Yes, I have Vidal's file. What's going on with Vidal?
We're working on it, Judge. She, I'm not, who is courtroom? Who was just doing a chat on the side? Who was talking to her in the courtroom?
Yes.
She needs a little help before we can work on this one. We're just asking she be excused and given a reset. Marcus and I are working on some discovery issues. She has other things to be working on besides this case, and she's gonna keep in contact with me.
All right, what time frame are you all asking for?
I'd say 30 days might be too long, but I think 30 days is reasonable for discovery. She has some.
All right, Norma, can you recall Miss Vidal for 30 days, please? What date?
22nd.
All right, September 22nd.
September 22nd. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, she's not to leave the courtroom till she receives that reset form.
I don't know if you want to tell her that as well, Judge.
Deputy Laura, could you make sure that Mary Vidal doesn't leave till she signs the reset form?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
She just might need a little something in writing for sure.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Vidal?
Come here, Mr. Thomas. Come here. All the way up here. To the blue. To the blue disc, and then just face forward, okay? Just face forward. Right
Miss Vidal, we're gonna have you come back on September 22nd, okay?
there. Okay.
They're gonna give you a reset form. Make sure you keep that reset form. You can either appear by Zoom or in person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Don't leave till you get that form.
Just tell me what, the day and the date.
It's September 22nd. They're gonna give you a sheet of paper, so you'll have that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You keep in contact with me, okay, Miss Vidal?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you,
If you
Judge.
have nothing else with us, you are excused.
I mean, I do, but I'll have to come back in the morning for it. Joe Ray and I are conferring about a bond issue. I'm happy to do it now, but I think you'd rather wait in the morning.
Okay, awesome. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Karen, are you done?
I respond to many things. Your Honor, I'm here to ask if you would consider, I'm not sure my client entirely understood what his choices were, and he is now asking that you would just sentence him to 2 years prison.
All right, have him come back to the main room and I'll send him to 2 years prison.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Actually, just one moment, everyone. And he's going to continue. Mr. Nias, Did you need us for anything else? If not, you're excused.
Oh, Judge Boyd? Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Let me see. I'm sorry. Oh, Judge Boyd,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just watching the court session like usual.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if we could just watch. I was just watching.
Oh, no, you could stay and watch. That is fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye bye.
All right. Karen, you are, if you don't have anyone else with us, you're excused. And Rodolfo Zepeda, what are we doing with your client?
Your Honor, I'm wrapping up paperwork.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Norma on here?
Yes, she is.
Okay, I just want to make sure she, I'll send her a chat. All right, Judge, Lisa Voigt just needs to talk to her client, Martin Rodriguez, in breakout 3. I assigned him.
All right. Thank you. And he is Martin Rodriguez. Go to breakout room number 3, please.
How do I do that?
Do you see something that, are you on an iPhone or Android?
Oh. I see breakout rooms.
Yes, go to number 3.
Okay.
James Meyer, is there a reason he keeps leaving? Yes. What is happening with your case?
Oh, I think we had a break at this today. So it looks like I just need to speak to a DA, one family violence DA, and see if we can settle on a bargaining. So I think the client's motivated.
All right. Could a prosecutor go to breakout room number 4, please?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And who is Tiara Daniels? Does anyone know who that is? Hello? Oh, you're,
Yeah, Judge Boyd.
yes.
Sorry, that's my coworker. She's training, so I sent her the link as
no
well.
problem.
just watching it. Sorry, we're just.
Oh, no, no problem. I was trying to make sure that we took care of everyone who needed to be taken care
Oh
of.
yeah, we're just learning from you today.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, Judge.
Sure, you're welcome. Alfonso Cabanas.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Rebecca is still in breakout room number 1 going over conditions. As soon as she does, we'll see if there is an update on the treatment bed for your client, Mr. McBride.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can you, me, and Mr. Zepeda go into a breakout room real quick about something
Yes.
about the plea?
I'll send you out a breakout room number 5. So Mr. Zepeda, if you'll go to breakout room number 5, please.
James, is there agreement? Yeah, let's do it. 4-4.
All right. Can you chat me your client's email?
Yeah, in a moment. Let me do that. Okay. see.
All right, could I see someone from Criminal Trial Division in the breakout room, please?
On my way, Judge.
All right, thank you. Breakout room number 4, please. Rebecca, if you could go to number 6 with Alfonso and talk about the wait time. Thank you. And I'm sorry, Hunter, you said 5,000?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. And Deputy Laura, can I see you, please? And Lisa Voigt, what are we doing with Martin Rodriguez?
Your Honor, this is our first time to really visit, and I've got an offer today from the state. If we could have another reset on this.
All right, you need to have your client come back to the main room. He's in breakout room number 3.
I told him to do that.
Yes, he's still there. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. Mr. Rodriguez, Martin Rodriguez, can you unmute yourself, please? Norma, on Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes, ma'am.
can we give him a 30-day reset, please?
The 21st, Judge.
All right, we'll be back on September 21st. Mr. Rodriguez, you need to make sure you're back on September 21st. And you are excused. Ms. White, do you have all of your client's contact information?
I do now, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused. We'll see you back on September 21st.
Okay, thank you.
And tell your client that he can't be on this Zoom fixing vehicles. It's like romper room. Joe Ray Garcia, are you here? Or either David Martin, someone from Family Violence.
Sure, Judge. I'm here.
All right, could I see you in a breakout room, please? Breakout room number 4, I'll meet you there.
Sorry, Judge, I had to field a phone call about my computer, but
Oh, no problem.
that should be fine. It's just a change in work hours.
Yes.
Sure. Joe Ray spreading his computer viruses all over the place. Keep your computer 6 feet away from mine.
Rebecca? If I could see you and Alfonso back in number 6.
James, everything should be sent on my end.
Okay.
So are you like trying to file a suit again, like a regular lawsuit asking for money or something like that?
Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, I would probably, I mean, James doesn't take cases like that. I mean, that sounds more like criminal, like something, you know, that you want to file charges on these people. Um, yeah. I mean, maybe you might have to. Let's see, I can give you, what town did you say you're in? Yeah. Yeah. Um,
All right, are we ready on Zulaw?
I believe so, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Court is calling 2020 CR 3924, State of Texas versus Joshua Zuloff. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for this.
For the defense?
Adolfo Cepeda from Mr. Zuloff, Your Honor.
All right, are you Mr. Zuloff?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're
Yes, Your
proceeding
Honor.
by video because of the pandemic. Any objection, state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection, defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Zuloff, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Zuloff, the court is showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are there any oral amendments to the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking the court to orally amend the indictment after the portion on the indictment where it says tenor the following, and I believe there's a colon. Typically, there's supposed to be more identifying information for the instrument. So we're asking this court to add check number 1718, Wells Fargo Bank, on the account number 2969565,726.
Any objections to that amendment, Mrs. Cepeda?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Zuloff, do you have any objection to that being amended?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right, and with that amendment, defense, you're entitled to at least 10 days to prepare. Are you waiving that?
I'm waiving those days, 10 days, Your Honor.
And Mr. Zuloff, do you have any objections to your attorney waiving those 10 days and proceeding?
No, Your Honor, no objections.
All right. Then with that oral amendment, Mr. Cepeda, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am, we waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Zuloff, I'm showing you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that you were charged with forgery of a commercial instrument of check, the repeater enhanced as a repeat offender? The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow that plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call them, the right to remain silent?
I understand, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor, I do understand.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to enter into the plea bargain.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am, he's an intelligent young man.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Zuloff, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor, this plea comes from me, myself, and I.
Has anyone promised you anything other than a plea bargain agreement?
I was told that I would be considered to be given 656 days back time.
Mr. Zoloff, I want the record to be clear. The court is required to give you any credit for any time that you served on this offense. But what I'm trying to understand from you is that there is a plea bargain agreement that you've reached with the state. And it appears that plea bargain agreement is for 2 years in the prison, and several cases are to be taken in consideration. Other than what's in the four corners of this document, have you been promised anything else from the state?
No, ma'am, just what's in the document, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor, my lawyer represented me very well.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am a U.S. citizen, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, we went over everything and I understand completely, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, you're to agree that you've previously been convicted of 2 or more felonies for purposes of enhancement. Your punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2020 CR 3934, 2020 CR 1694, County Court Cause number 637480. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
That's correct, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review those paragraphs with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense that's charged in an indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to plead no low contendere.
Thank you. State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mrs. Zoloff, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand, again, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call on the right to remain silent?
I understand, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits, Mr. Zuloff, with regard to the repeat offender enhancement allegations and the indictment, how do you plead to those enhancement allegations? True or not true?
Your Honor, can you repeat, could you say that one more time, please, Your Honor?
Yes. All right, Mr. Zuloff, according to the plea bargaining agreement, you're to agree that you've been previously convicted of 2 prior felonies for enhancement. The first one is, and it is further presented in and set to said court, that before the commission of the offense alleged above, hereinafter styled the primary offense, on the 13th day of October AD 2017, and cause number 2016 CR 7891 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant was convicted of the state jail felony of unauthorized use of vehicle. Is that true or not true?
That is true, Your Honor.
And on the 17th day of June AD 2019, in cause number 2018 CR 13495 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant was convicted of the state jail felony of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. Is that true or not true?
That is true, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments. The court will find the enhancements true based upon your plea of true and also based upon state's exhibits 1 and attachments. Court will follow your plea bargaining agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Take in consideration 2020 CR 3944, 2020 CR 1694, County Court Cause number 637480. Give you credit for any time served. My understanding is that the defendant has some out-of-county time. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And how much credit does he have for out-of-county time? Not Bexar County time, but just out-of-county.
Oh, wow, Your Honor, I didn't break it down like that. Well, he was in,
Well, that's okay. What is the total credit time served?
the total credit time would be 656 days, Your Honor. From actually November, the 8th of November, 2019, up until today, Your Honor.
All right, the court will give him credit for time served, and the court will state for the record and show that the defendant has a credit of 656 days. Is that correct, state?
Your Honor, yes, I believe Norma was helping him with that, and she sent a document that has all of the days for the out-of-county time.
All right. So you will receive credit for 656 days, Mr. Zuloff. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mrs. Zoloff, you've got to change your ways. Either one day you're going to wake up, you're going to find that you've spent the majority of your life in prison. So you're going to have to change your ways.
Your Honor, I spent most of this time in prison, and I gotta say, being in Bexar County is not a place to grow up and become a man. But the time that I spent in TDC with other men, and having access to self-help books and walking around, walking in chow and being treated like a man in the TDC environment, has really helped me to re-coordinate and look at some things in myself. And I realized that that I'm ready now. I wasn't ready. If I would have done all my time in Bexar County and you would have let me out, I wouldn't have been ready. But I really taken the time. I needed to look at some things. And I'm 32 years old. I've spent the last 2 years locked up, and I can say I'm ready to come out and do the right thing now. So I'm already on parole for my prior sentence. I just made parole, and I'm almost done with this sentence now. And I'm just one step closer every day, and I'm ready. I'm ready to arrive and grow into the man that I am. My 20s were crazy, and I'm done with that. And I'm just paying my dues. I'm so glad I could put this behind me, and everybody here in the court system and Zoom working with me. And I'm ready, and I thank you all for helping me put this in the past and move forward. Thank you all so much.
All right, good luck to you. Remember these days, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor, I sure will.
All right, Norma, you can let them know that L3 can go back. And Mrs. Zepeda, thank you for your patience. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, you too. And everyone, if Mr. Paul Hernandez is not done, I think we may need to call this back for tomorrow, because I think I can speak for everybody when I say that we had a long day yesterday. And I think everybody's ready to go home. Joe Ray, you wanted to say something?
Oh, yeah, it's not done. The paperwork's still in the defendant's email.
Yes. So, Mr. Myrick, your client's paperwork is still in his email.
Okay. Could we recall this for tomorrow and get it done?
Yes, but I'm going to need everyone who has paperwork that needs to be done. I'm going to need everyone here at 9 a.m.
Okay, we'll get it done.
All right, so you need to go to the breakout room number 2. Tell your client that he needs to be here at 9 a.m.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to stop the live stream.